So with the recent announcement of the RTX 50 series, there are a ton of 40 series owners and other cards that are going to be flooding the market. And this is really good for people like me and a lot of you guys that follow the channel that do like parts hunting and stuff like that. But there's also some problems with it. And I really want to talk about what showed up at my office just recently. This is an RTX 4090, and that is a missing die. So the person who sold this card took the die off the card. And just for reference, here is a 3090 Ti. Obviously you can see that there's the die and there's the memory modules around it. So it should look like that, not like that. My friend who does a ton of parts hunting, he's one of the biggest contributors to this channel. He's always dropping stuff off, giving me jobs and work to do. And he was the one that brought me 2 of these cards, and I was testing them. I actually tested them on the channel a couple videos back, and they both wouldn't post. So normally when that happens, he doesn't require me to take the cards apart and all that stuff. But this time I asked him, what's up with the card? Have you taken it apart? Have you looked at it? And he was like, nope, I'm going to send it off to PNY. And the reason why he was going to do that is because it was still sealed. It still had all of the factory seal on it. Even the sticker was replaced on this card. So PNY got this, it showed up, and they took it apart. And when they took it apart, they saw that it was missing this. And they immediately were very rude to him because they probably thought he was trying to scam PNY. But the reality was he got scammed. Now, he drops off a lot of these cards. Here's another 4090. This thing is practically brand new. The peel is still on it. I was able to check this one even by just looking at the side. So I'm going to show you guys some close-ups. But you can see, if you look at the very side of this, you can see the die. So you're looking for this kind of silver outline with the PCB on the edge. If you don't see that, if you're buying cards, then most likely it's gone. And I want to get into why this is happening because I think that's pretty important. So here's exactly what this particular guy in the local area is doing, and I'm going to get to that too because he's not just doing this once. I found 7 instances of this in this local area of Boston, Massachusetts. So if you're around here, watch out. So what this guy is essentially doing is he's taking off the GPU and he's taking off all these memory modules. Now this particular GPU, and this is why the 4090 is probably going to have this problem more than like the 4080, this particular GPU is banned in one country in particular, let's say, and they pay quite a bit. I looked around on Reddit and a few other places to see what they actually pay for these parts. I was seeing anywhere from $700 to $1,000 just for the chip itself. So imagine that you went and you sold the chip and then also the memory, because a lot of people will buy that memory, even if it's used. So imagine you sell the chip, you sell the memory, let's maybe say you made $1,000. Now you have this PCB, and you slap it back in here, and this card's great because look at all that plastic peel on there. Like, someone's gonna be like, wow, I got a brand new card, amazing. But the reality is they're just getting a PCB and a cooler, and they have no idea. And what the guy does is he basically, by the time you get it home, you're already blocked, and he creates a new profile, and you're making anywhere from what this card, I think Min paid, I think it was $1,200 for this one. So $1,200 plus $1,000, you're making $2,200. That's practically 4090 prices of 2022, 2023. I also noticed on this one too, the guy made a pretty good effort to pile tons of thermal paste, so it almost looked like the die was in there. The first time I looked at it, I didn't even notice it. I was like, oh yeah, there's a lot of thermal paste. Maybe it's like overflow or something. But this guy knows what he's doing. He's not an amateur person here. This person has to do a BGA removal. BGA removal is ball grid array, and the removal process of these chips is not easy. There are tons and tons of pads everywhere. So to get this off, you have to be somewhat skilled to do it. So while I was talking to my friend about this, he had sent me a few other people that had posted pictures on Facebook saying that they got a 4090, it doesn't post, and they're not sure what's wrong with it, and they want to get some money back. And a lot of them are selling them for like $400, $300 because they're just unsure of why it doesn't work. They contact the company, they're either out of the warranty or they don't have the receipt, so they can't RMA the actual card. And so I started to talk to some of these guys who were selling these broken cards. And I asked them, hey, like, where did you meet the guy? And all of them said a very similar thing, that they met some guy in a place called Nashua, New Hampshire, which is pretty close to me. It's about an hour drive for me. So anyone from Massachusetts, easy drive. A couple of them said he was driving a silver Lincoln, and he was like a middle-aged white guy with a gray beard. And all that really doesn't matter, because essentially we found 7 different people had been affected by this same exact scam in this local area. And I have a couple of screenshots. I'm not going to throw all of them up, but I talked to these people for a little bit, and sadly, these guys actually sold the cards. I really wanted to talk to them more, and even maybe like get police involved, because this is a lot of money we're talking here. This is $10,000 easily. But unfortunately, you know, it's like if they're going to list them for sale, they're also kind of doing the same thing to another person, especially if they're saying like, oh yeah, it doesn't work, I'm not sure what's wrong with it. One of the guys even, I had him open the card, and we could see just from one person wouldn't open the card. I could tell from the side that the die was missing. Another person actually did open the card. He showed me. Here's another picture of one. So this is just happening quite a bit. And so I started to look around a little bit, and sure enough, TechSpot. If you guys don't know TechSpot is basically Hardware Unboxed. That's their website. And TechSpot also just posted a article about the same exact problem. This person from TechSpot who they're talking to basically said that the RGB lights would illuminate. I actually had one of the cards, the fans actually spun. I don't know if it was like a weird power issue, because they spun for about a second and then they stopped. The RGB did come on. So when you're just looking at it from a face value, you're like, okay, maybe there's like something wrong with one of the memory modules, or who knows, and that's why it's just not working. And it might be a simple fix, and then you open it up and you find out there's nothing in there that's of any value. Has value, don't get me wrong, this does have value. Somebody would probably buy this hoping it's not broken, or maybe like, because this guy could have bought an RMA. What if he bought this from eBay and this was not working? Maybe they couldn't get an RMA warranty on it or something. There's so many different variables to the situation. So it's like a lot of people would be like, I'm not really sure it would be worth even doing another process of putting another 4090 die on here. Maybe I should hit up Northwest or Northridge Repair and see if any of them want to take a look at some of these cards. So I feel like this was a pretty big eye-opener, because there's going to be a lot of people hunting these 4090s. There's all these jokes on the internet about the 5070 being faster, and the people who are like really looking for maybe just like raster performance, they're going to be looking for these 4090s. So just keep an eye out, really pay attention. Even having them benchmark it can be a little bit troublesome. The reason I say that is, what if I take this test bench here and I pop this RTX 4090 into the test bench, set it all up, and I set it up in front of that other computer that's running, and I put that other computer on the floor, and maybe I put another 4090 in that. And now I'm going to have a bunch of these 4090s probably, because I'm scamming. I'm making money. I'm taking apart. I'm flipping them. So yeah, now I'm running another 4090 on the floor while I'm showing you a time-stamped video of this test bench running this card, which this card might already be missing the die. Who knows? And ideally, you probably wouldn't want to take the die off first, because you would want the fan spinning. But anyways, my point is, there are ways to manipulate and trick people into thinking that you're getting a good deal or a good product. And that's probably another sketchy thing. It's really tough to validate if any of these things are working. Now, I know what some of you are going to say. Well, it's really stupid to go and buy it somewhere locally or whatever. Like, and trust me, I know. I've been scammed before. The problem is, a lot of people don't want you to go into their house, regardless if the deal is real or fake. Like, asking someone to go into their house and like set up their computer and stuff is just, you know, some people will do it, some people won't. If you can get them to do it, hopefully they're not robbing you, and they can show the card working. That's great. But if you can't, the only other option is to have it being shown, being tested, have it run benchmarks or something like that. And so like, that's really it. And I've had this problem in the past myself. It's like, meet at a police station. That doesn't do anything, because they can still scam you. And just, I mean, maybe it would be a little bit better because there's some like cameras in the parking lot, and you can be like, hey, can you look up this car? Which, by the way, if the guy happens to see this from Nashua, New Hampshire, we are definitely looking for the cameras from that mall. So just be aware that you might get screwed. While I was actually making the video, as you can see, I'm in the middle of editing it right here. I decided to basically jump back over here because I started to notice like there's a lot of these cards online just recently coming up that have the missing core or GPU, and you know, we're seeing quite a few of them. Some of them are probably broken, I would assume, or maybe people are getting scammed. This guy here, big BG Planet Japan, I assume that they probably are like a rework. I mean, some of these are tech places, so it's hard to say, but anyway, just something of note. I'm gonna test this one. I know this one is good. I can see everything is there on the side. I mean, this one is practically brand new. But yeah, it's a little bit scary right now. And also, they can fake this too. There is a seal right here, this little tiny, not broken seal. People can just get those stickers and put them on too. It's like, you know, there's a lot of variables to the scam. But yeah, if you enjoyed the content, drop a like, leave a comment, whatever. And I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.